Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aunt Beck's Creations. I'm Aunt Beck, or Becky, and I thought I would just come real quick and show you a little bit of the beading. As you can see, I haven't even started on mine, and tomorrow night we're supposed to sew our bags together. So I'm coming on to share how to sew the beads, and I even pulled out some sequins. Now, these beads are just a mixed bag here that I got thrifting. I look for beads and any kind of crafty bits when I'm thrifting, because you never know when you might need to make something up real quick as a gift. So that's why I have this random thing of those. Now, the sequins I did purchase, and I meant to get a little tray to put those in. And I need to lift you guys up a little because you don't need to see that part. You need to see over here. Here. Let me grab a tray to put the sequins in. You can add any beads that you want. And before I go any further, let me say this. This is how I do it. Is it the correct way? Maybe not. This is how I do it. Okay. If you're hung up on the right way, maybe you need to go somewhere else, because this is my way. Just an FYI. And I put that out there so nobody has to correct me in the comments. Okay. It's all good. And I'm just using a needle that'll fit through my beads. So I just grab a random bead and I just make sure the needle will go all the way through it. And I forgot I had put a knot in this. So let's see if I can get the bead to come back off over the needle. There we go. And this thread is not beading thread. It is hand quilting thread, actually. You can tell the different colors of the spools mean different things. If you look at the chart at Joann's, the brown ones like this are for hand quilting. I think the lighter green ones are for machine quilting. White ones are apparel sewing, and so on. I did it my way. And let's get rid of the automatic focus because I forgot to do that. Hang on just a second. And I'm going to come in closer. Ta-da! All right, so hi Pam, hi Ray, hi Gail. And I know a lot of people are watching Kathy Berg, and that's okay. This is very impromptu. So I'm just going to sew a few sequins on, because not everybody knows how sequins are put on unless they've taken some off from something. I'm going to set half of my bag aside. Now remember, we need to keep away from about an inch. And the reason I say that is you want your presser foot to be able to go along here. Stitching is fine. You know how I've done the stitching? It goes off the edge. That's fine. But you don't want to put beads in the way, because you can really damage your sewing machine if you sew over some beads that you weren't expecting. Now, there are beaded fabric that people do, but usually you'll take the time to remove some of those beads and lock the last ones on. It's a lot of work to do a beaded dress. So I'm going to stay away from about an inch off from here. About 3 inches from the top of the bag, I'm going to just leave that clear because I want to be able to sew my channel for my drawstrings. And then I'm going to, where the cutouts here, I'm going to stay above, like this far up, go up, and then stop at 3 above. So I can come, all the way out to here with the beading from here to here. And I'm just going to do some random beads. And you can put them in a pattern if you want to. I had thought about maybe adding some sequins to the heart. Let me see how that's not going to give me much room there. maybe we'll just do some. This is the fun part, is deciding where you want to put stuff. Okay, so down here I've got a nice open area, so I'll just put something here. All right, now to sew a sequin on, I've got my thread through the fabric. There's a knot on the other side. Take your sequin, so it's like the bottom of the cup is going to lay against the fabric, and you come through there. All right, then you're going to put a bead on, and I have some gold beads in here. So you just thread a little gold bead on there. Uh-oh, that one doesn't go over my needle. Try another one. Let me see. I only want to pick up one. Let's see, will that one go over the end? It did. Okay. So now I've got the sequin is down by the fabric. The bead is along the thread right there. Now you're going to take your needle and you're going to go back through the center of the sequin, right where it is. All right, and see what happens is that bead locks the sequin on. Then go on to the next one. And now if you want them to overlap, you can. I think I'm going to come over far enough that the sequin can lay on its own. So again, sequins are cupped, right? And you want the cup, the flat bottom of the cup, to be against the fabric. So you put that on there. Then we're going to find us another gold bead with enough hole. Of course, I don't have to use gold. I've got all kinds of colors in here, but I'm using what I have. All right, so I got to move the bead aside a little bit and just go right back down through the center of the sequin. Sequins are another thing I find in the thrift stores all the time. All right. So I'm just going to kind of make a random kind of swirly thing just to be kind of pretty. Again, bottom of the cup. Put that down at the fabric. My spacing's probably going to be off because I'm just kind of eyeballing this. This is going to be a project bag for me. Now I picked up 3 instead of 1. So let me see if I can get back to 1. Uh-oh, I think I dropped one on the table. It's easy peasy to sew these on once you know. Okay, so there's 3 sequins sewn on. So it'll have some blingity bling to it. So I might do some more sequins and I might do some plain beading. But I figured I would come on and show you how I'm doing this in case you'd never sewn sequins on. I might even add some buttons. I might just bling this all up, but I only have 24 hours. Only if you make a really big French knot. I mean, you can try, Gail. You could try. I've only ever done it with the bead method because my French knots turn out to be quite small. And a lot of it has to do with how big the hole is in the sequin, I would say. It hurts to just try, you know. You just try. You never know what you might find. The dog is pouting because I won't let her in the kitchen where the cat food and the cat's stuff is. Of course, the cat's food is picked up right now, but I meant to put it back down when I brought her in here. That's okay. And I just figured since these are gold sequins, I'd use gold beads so they're not, you know, real visible. Got a little bit far away from my other sequins, but again, I'm not real worried about it. I just want to get something on here. And the reason I'm doing all my beading now is because once I put the lining on, it'll be hard for me to do the beading and things like that. Carol could probably add stuff after it's done, but I don't want to fight the in between. And this is going to be a soft drawstring bag. If you want it to be more stable, like Mary, I think, was talking about using a little bit stiffer fabric because she wants to use hers as an art bag instead of a project bag, like for stitching. And the only other thing you can do is you can buy interfacings that'll stiffen it up. My favorite for bags is called Shirt Tailor. It's actually made to do the collars on a man's shirt or a woman's shirt where you've got a real stiff collar. But Joann's carries it, but it's called Shirt Tailor, and it's quite stiff. Now, if you want it really stiff, there are Pellon, real stiff. I can't remember what it's called. Fleece, maybe. But it's a stiffer one. I kind of wanted this one to be one that kind of could be stuffed away on my couch under a pillow if I needed to, or, and easy to carry. Just a little pouch. It's not going to carry a lot anyway, because this is going to be a little bag. And this is what I was planning to do. And I debated whether to just open a room in Aunt Beck's Creations and sit and chat with some folks. But then I said, well, there might be some people that aren't in my group that would benefit from seeing how I sew the sequins on. So that's why you guys are seeing me now. And sometimes these sequins are deceptive and there'll be more than one stuck together. This one doesn't appear to have a hole punched all the way through yet. So let me grab another one. I'll deal with that one that's being naughty. Okay, I'm going to be sewing these on and adding some blingity bling to my bag. I might add some more stitching. I don't know. I really wanted to just focus on the beading. So tomorrow when we sew this bad boy together, it'll be good to go. And I figured anybody that's not around can watch the replay. We had a heck of a storm yesterday. Scared all the animals. And then the fireworks started in. Callie's cutting up on the floor. Excuse me. You off to see your mom? All right. Love you. Bye.
Oh, it's been up.
Yeah. Your back's hurting you, isn't it?
Shoulder hurts.
Oh. See you when you get back. Poor guy's hurting all over. Yeah, that storm that came through here, I'm in the middle of South Carolina, and it was really loud. That's that one that doesn't have a big enough hole in it to go through the needle for the needle to go through. I was trying to think of what else to tell you that you could add to your bags. I mean, if you have appliques, you might want to add an applique to your bag if you've got some. These aren't all punched out. That's kind of disappointing. Scott's mom had a flat. She tried to avoid a car and go around it, and I think she rubbed the side of the tire and it hit something and it broke. So somebody put the spare baby tire on for her, but she needs to get that fixed. And Thursday I have to take her to a doctor's appointment, so I won't be in craft and chat right away in Anne's group. All right, now I'm just going to turn it to the back, and I'm going to slide it under one of my stitches, wrap my thread around it a couple times, 1, 2, 3. Then I hold all of that business close to the fabric and pull it tight, and then I'm going to snip it free. And there we've added some. Yeah, she's almost 95, so we wish she'd quit driving, but she was in a parking lot getting a hamburger. She was going to get a hamburger, and somebody was having trouble moving or getting their car out or whatever. So she tried to go around them and mess that tire up, and she's been waiting. She woke us up at about 9:30 and was very apologetic, and Scott's slow to get going today, so he's hurting so bad. To me, I don't see us having another project house in our future. I think we should either stay here or buy something somebody else has already redone, or a brand new house. But I just don't see us doing any more home remodels. This one's been kind of slow going, but not his fault. He can only do what he can do. He's 63 years old now, so he's having a hard time with that too, adjusting to, oh, I don't want to move again, I don't think. Moving back down here from Greenville about did me in. I'm going to do another squiggly. I want to make sure I'm staying away about 3 inches from the top. In fact, I'm going to take a minute and measure that. If I can find a measuring device. Hi, Tippers. Watch your tail. I almost ran on it. Oh, let's see. I will go around and put y'all's food down. All right, come on, guys. Not you, dog. Only the cats. They're looking at me like, dry? Really? Yeah, I quit giving them wet food because here comes Scott back. It's expensive, hard to find, and they were wasting too much of it. I'm going to take my measuring tape and measure down from my top edge 3 inches and put a pin on each side here, just as a guide for me visually of where to stop. There's one there. Now I'm going to show how to do a bag tomorrow. This bag will be sewn tomorrow, and I'm going to show how to leave the outer edge because I want to leave this exposed. So if you want yours to be sewn, we'll do that another day. Hi, Beth. Hi, Ray. Ray's laughing. Only the cats. That's right. Only cats. What is this? Trash? There's always trash in the mail. Trash. They must have pulled up right as you were leaving. He's an achy breaky husband. Poor guy. So now I won't put any beads above these pins up here because that's where we're going to put our little channel. All right, so back to sewing some sequins. Let's put some, and I don't want to put any on this flap because this is where this will sit on the floor, and that'll be kind of pointless to have sequins pointed on there. And please excuse the cat hair on this. They've all been taking a turn laying on it, and I figured it's mine. It doesn't matter. Hi, Barbara Every. We're probably not going to do Old Fart Tuesday today unless I go on my own because Scott will have to leave for work here in about 2 hours. His mom had said that she was just going to take her car to car care and get another tire or get that one fixed or whatever and get it put back on. Because Thursday, she's going to insist I drive her van, which I hate that van. I absolutely despise it. But she can't get in and out of our sedan very well. It sits really low. It's a Buick Lucerne, and it sits pretty low to the ground. She has a real hard time. And again, I'm just sewing these on randomly just to make some little blingity spots. So go from the rounded bottom, the bottom part of your sequin, and then you get you a bead. Uh-oh, I got another one that it won't go through the needle. Put him over on this side in timeout. And I might just start grabbing whatever bead I come on because now see, there's another one. Can I get it to go through? Nope. You gotta go over here and timeout. And I think I'll just grab whatever. If you just run your needle through your beads, you'll pick up one. I'm picking up all the ones that won't go. That white bead might. Let me see. That one won't. Let's see. Because this is a use what you have moment. There we go. That one did. That was a clear one. A lot of times, to keep the color of your sequins clear too, people use clear beads, clear seed beads to lock their sequins in place. Because then you see right through it then. Yeah, I know. Not the same in every bead. Uniformity isn't their thing, is it, Gail? So I'll just keep trying. And hey, I thrifted these beads. Big old tub of beads. I think I got it for like $1.97 or $2.97. Oh, let's get that blue one. It's pretty cool looking. It looked like it had a nice big hole. And I don't know if it's going to show what using different colored beads will do, but and if you start getting knotty, just put your needle in and pull it back away from the sequin until you work in all those threads because you want it to be smooth. I might have to work it from this side. Just grab an individual thread and pull until that pulls down. And I don't know if you can see where I've used the different color bead. I've got a lot of light coming in. I was feeling the need for extra sunshine today. Let me close this other curtain so maybe it's a little bit. Put me back in the dark, but you guys will be able to see maybe a little better. Hi, Angie. She's napping. Okay. I am working on our project bag that we started several weeks ago. We did a prompt game on denim or on canvas type fabric, and we've cut it out. It's going to be a project bag. We're going to line it with fabric tomorrow during my live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And we'll be making this into a little drawstring bag. Is that better with the curtain closed? So go through the back of the sequin. Okay, then through a bead. Will that one go over? Yep. That's a little red bead. I hope it's big enough to hold the sequin on. It's pretty small. Then back down through your sequin. Another thing you can do is put your finger in where the thread is looped. And then just as it gets closer, pull your finger out. And that way you don't get all that extra thread kind of bumping up. A bit closer. Let me see. Hold, please. And I don't know if I can get any closer than that, but I will try. Nope, that's as close as it's going to let me get. All right. All right. Let me move my thread spool and my little needle case. Okay, there's that and the sequins. All right. I'm just creating a random little wiggly bit here. That feels like 2 sequins. All right. Oh no, now the cats are playing. Something could crash at any moment. They got the zoomies. All right, there's another one. I can't get the needle to go through. Hold, please. I'm just going to grab whatever bead will go over the back of my needle. All right, so I've got a sequin. Oh, here we go. And then the bead's laying on top. I'm going to move the bead out the way and go back through the hole in the middle. And then again, if you stick your thumb in where the 2 layers of thread are and just keep it going even, then you don't get a buildup of the thread getting all crazy and loopy. Stop. Go around. You're not trapped in there. Go around. They're digging the house all up. All the hard work we've done, and they've been digging at doorways if they think they're stuck. It's like, you cats are tearing our house up. Man, I can't find one. Let's look and see. Some of them I can just look at them and say, yeah, that'll go over my needle. There we go. And then back down through the sequin. Yeah, just grabbing one side of the thread as it's going back in gives you greater control. If you are more comfortable sticking this in a hoop, feel free. I pulled it until the thread is taut but not tight. I don't want it to put any tension on the fabric, because then if you put a lot in your bag and you try to stretch it too far, you'll put more tension on those threads and you might pop your sequins all off. Let's see here. There we go. And then back down through the sequin, move your bead aside, back down through the sequin. And then you just repeat that same thing over and over and over until you got as many sequins on it as you want. The sequins make it hard on the camera. The camera's having a hard time with the blingity bling. So what all are, for those that are making this little drawstring bag with me, what all are you attaching to your on the outside? I mean, we could do a merry list of things to attach to the outside. You can add more lace, little lace squares, and add beading on top. I did that on one of my bags. Buttons, you could put buttons on it. The important thing when you're doing painting on fabric and you are going to hand sew after, is to go light with the paint. You do not have to saturate the paint. It needs to sit on the surface. Like these birds, it's just barely sitting on the surface, but it's attached to the fabric. So you don't have to put a ton of paint on. In fact, the less the better. Yeah, when I can pick up a mixed bag of sequins, I don't set them aside just because they don't all match. I'll just pick it up and use them. It's kind of fun to put the different colors on top of these sequins. It adds to the party. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this little wiggly bit just like this one here. I'm going to just finish this one out. About 3 more sequins will do it. And I'll tie that off. And then I'm going to do just a little flower with the beads. All right, push that down. I'm going to pick up another bead. Yeah, we had that heavy thunderstorm with thunder that shook the house. And we've had rumbly earthquakes here, which our earthquakes are not the same. We have a family that just moved here that posted on Nextdoor. I don't know if you all do Nextdoor or not, but she lives not too far from me. And she said they just moved here from California and our earthquakes are totally different. Where'd that sequin go? I don't know. Probably in my lap on the floor. We'll get another one. And she wanted to know if that thunder was normal. And I was like, oh, yeah. I told her, I said, you also need to be prepared for hurricane season. So I sent her the link to the national site on hurricane preparedness so she can get her a bug out bag fixed up and be prepared for hurricane season. Because if you go to that website and get all the detailed stuff that you should have on hand in a tub, there's that sequin. It's a good idea. Any natural disaster, I mean, hurricanes, it could be a forest fire. If you have one of those tubs ready to go, you just throw it in your car and grab your pets and go. I mean, you don't have to waste time getting out if you've had it, if you have it all fixed up. I am an hour and a half from Charleston and 3 hours from Myrtle Beach driving. But we learned our lesson with Hurricane Hugo in the 80s that hurricanes don't care how far inland you are. Hurricane Hugo picked up speed on land and hit us at 95-mile-an-hour winds. And we didn't leave. They said, oh, it'll lose its power as it hits the coast and gets on land. That he did not. and he hit Charlotte and tore it all up. So see, now I didn't pay attention. I've got a thread loop on the back. I am not going to worry about that. The only problem with leaving these big loops like this is they can get loose over time. Maybe I can work it out. Hang on. I don't want my beads to work. Well, poo-poo the shmoo. I don't know where that loop came from. There's 2 and 2 and 2. Oh, it's way back here that it worked. Well, I guess I'll just leave it. I'm going to leave it. I'll tell you what, I'll catch it in my knot, and maybe that'll keep it from getting too loose later. But I do have a loose thread there that could be a problem later, but got to pay attention to make sure there's no loops happening front or back. All right, this thread's not really long enough to do any beading. So there I did 2 little groups of like little S squiggles. And I'll add some more of those, but let's like do a flower on top of this fabric. So I'll swap out my thread. Carol keeps those little bits. I'm not that good. Yeah, I hate when I didn't notice it. I'm going to pull out because I've got a lot of thread pulled out here, but keep in mind, I'm doubling it because I don't want my beads to come off. So I put it through the needle and then put the ends together and tie a knot. I think I got some postcards today. All right, so get my 2 ends together. And I don't know how you guys do your knots. And I do not when I'm sewing beads on because I don't want it to come off. But I just wrap it around my finger like that. And then I just roll it and then pull tight. And it makes a knot on the end. See the little knot? So I'm going to do a flower on my fabric piece I have here. But you could do the flowers just any old where. This has got the letter D on it, so I've sewn a piece of cat hair in there. Surprise, surprise. So I'll come up from the back. And now the thing is, I really do want all the same, all the same colors. So what I do is I put about 3 beads. Get another red one here. 2, 3. Oh, that one didn't do. Try again. 3. All right. Push them all the way down so they're against your fabric. Take your thumb and hold them flat on the fabric so they're under my thumb. Then right at the end, I'm going to go down through the fabric. And there I've got those 3 sewn on there. If you want them to be real stable, you can go back down to the other end where you started and come back up. And then go back through them again. If it'll let you, because sometimes it won't. And sometimes the seed beads are so tight, so I'm not going to be able to do that this time. So that's going to have to be good. All right. Now I'm going to put 3 more on. See if that one will go. There's 1. 2. Now, these aren't meant to look like real flowers. These are just flowers from my imagination. All right. Again, I got one that won't go down on there. And I'd probably have better luck with this if I dumped them out. But do I want to dump all those out? All right, now I want to move over some. So I'm coming out at a different direction. And this is going to be a 5-petal flower. So I'm going to put 3, and then 3, and then 3, 3, and 3. And then in the middle, I'll put a bead in the dead center. So when you're coming up for each group of 3, you want to make sure you're leaving just a little bit of space right in the middle, because we're going to stick maybe we'll stick a gold bead right in the middle. And if you do groups of flowers like this, like a group of 3 flowers together, they look cute. And I'm going right next to that 3rd bead. Look at this goofball. She is a nut. Hi, Carol. All right, so I'm going to come back toward the center. And again, I'm trying to leave a little bit of space for that gold bead at the end. So again, 3 more red ones that'll go over my needle. Let's get this out of here because it's driving me crazy. Let's see here. There's a red one. Won't go over the needle. That one won't go over the needle either, will it? Nope. Have to keep trying until I find one. So what's everybody else doing today? Nothing like waiting until the last minute for me to sew on this, but it's been a busy week. There's one. And I will be in Craft In Chat on Thursday, but it will be much later. And if anybody ever wants to open a room group, you can. If you're a member of my group, anybody can open a room. The only thing is if you aren't the group owner or the administrator, when you open a room, this is what happens. It rings my phone. And all I have to do is pop on real quick. If I have time, I'll join. But if not, and you're opening a room in somebody else's chat and you've rung them and they can't, maybe they're at work or whatever. If they can't help you open it, then you won't be able to. That's the only thing. If somebody can't get in there to approve the opening. But anybody can open a room in anybody's group. Okay, come back to the middle. And I'm just leaving a little bit of space in the middle for that gold. Let me peek at the back, make sure I don't have any loops, no loopity loops going on there. You can do flowers like this, which I might just show you this flower and then maybe jump to it. I like to put my flowers on the little squares of fabric because I just think they look cute that way. And then when we finish this one, I'll come back later and add, a couple more because I like groups of 3, 2. But we'll go to another square and I'll show you how I do the ones that are like a lazy daisy stitch. All right, we got 3 on there. Let me get in there and put the beads all the way to the fabric and then hold them in place with your opposite thumb. You don't want to hold them so tight that they loop up off the fabric. All right. We have one more. You can see how I'm doing here. See how I've left a little hole in the middle? That's for our little gold bead center. one. Greg was nice about the fireworks last night, and he went, and they were part of his friend Mary's property too. So he went, I think he went to Mary's house, and they blew them off over there. I was really surprised that none of the little cats from next door ran away. They all showed up outside our house this morning to yowl at us. 2. And they must have saw my post on Nextdoor because they've started putting water out for the cats. They left for over a week with no water for those cats. So I went to Dollar Tree and got one of those dish pans, and I just filled it full of water each day so they had fresh water. Because for anybody that doesn't know, cats have to have fresh water because they have to have an oxygenation to it. When water sits, it loses the oxygen level. So what happens is that water becomes stagnant and harmful to them. So you should change out water for cats every single day. As you're putting water into a dish, all those little bubbles that you see as the water's going in is beneficial for your cats. It's basically aerating the water and adding oxygen. So it's really important, especially for cats, to have water that's fresh. All right, so there's my little 5-petaled flower. Now I'm going to come back up right in the middle, dead center of the middle here, if I can. Come on. And I'm just going to put a gold bead right in the middle. There's a nice fat gold bead right there. And then go back down through the fabric right in the middle there. Oh, it feels like I got bubbles. Oh, I've got a nest back here. This is not good. Not good at all. Bear with me. Oh, I hate when it buggers up this bad. That's what happens when I try to talk and stitch. I'm trying to get right in the middle of the knot. Oh, you monster. I wish I'd felt that sooner. No. Bear with me, guys. I'll get it. Oh, we're getting close. You should never pull on a knot. It just tightens it. Work it all free. Never pull. Okay, we're getting close here. All right, now. Right there is our problem. Because I've caught the edge of this thread. Oh, I can't believe I caught just the edge of that thread. I may regret that. We'll see. All right. Why aren't you pulling free now? Hold, please. Okay. All right. Since this is my last stitch, I'm going to do something. Yeah, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to take these two that are still up as a big loop. I'm just going to tie a knot with what's left on here because, hey, on the front, my flower's done, except for now it's got a boogery boo in the middle. I think we fixed it. Make sure it's all pulled tight. But see, the flower looks fine on the outside. My problem's on the back. So I'm going to just take, let's see. I'm going to take this big old globby loop here and just tie it with my working thread down to the fabric. I'm going to do that 3 times just to make sure it stays. Maybe. Then I'll just chop it all. There we go. Shh, nobody will ever know. Just me and all of y'all. All right. Let's move to another thing. So I'll do a group of 3 little flowers like that in various sizes. So each petal is 3 beads, and then leave a spot in the middle for a little guy like this. Do we have another place that I can do? We can come up here to this red one. Maybe we'll do a gold flower. I just want to, I'm still out of the top 3 inches. So I could put some flowers, maybe focus on the yellow background, but overlap onto the red. Maybe we'll do a gold flower. I'm going to start with what I have left because it's, yeah, sometimes I do too, but I knew if I could get it to a point where I could tie a knot back there, see how the back is just a big, looks like a spider. I think that'll be fine because I've tied it like 3 times. So hopefully that flower won't just go boom. All right. Remember, this is my pin telling me don't go above here. So I'm just going to come up from the back and then just thread on however many beads you want to make your loop. And I'm going to do a gold flower this time. And I have to do them one at a time to see if they'll go over the back of the pin. Of course, that one won't. And I think, oh my goodness, I'm not having much luck with gold. There's one. I'm going to do 7 beads to each petal. I like a nice odd number. Oh gosh, come on. This may take forever if I can't get the beads to fit on. 2. Ha 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 ha. 3. 4. I posted in my group a video that Adam Sews just did on the cutest little zip bag. 5. And he makes it look really easy. I just have never used the zipper that comes on a spool that you have to add the little tab to. I've never used that stuff, but he sure does make it look easy. All right, that should be 7 beads. 1, 2, Yes, it is. So I'm push my beads down to the bottom next to the fabric, and then I'm going to put my needle in where I came up and just pull it until your beads come back and make you a little loop. All right. So it looks like that. I don't know if you can see. There's like a little loopity-doo here. Then I'm going to come up. It's hard to see. At the top of the little loopy, come out away from the center a ways, and then come up in the loop. So, ow, got myself. I'm inside the loop. It's hard to see here. See how I'm inside that little loop? I'm just going to pull my thread up, and then I'll just go right back down over the thread. So I'm on the opposite side. I was inside the little loop. Now I'm on the outside going back down through. And that just pulls your little petal. See, the little petal is now flat. And you're going to do 5 of those. So go back down to the middle. And struggle to find 7 more little things. I know, I have some beading needles. Beading needles are super flat all the way to the back. I have beading needles. I just tried this one. I have some. I'm just being lazy. I didn't dig them out. It's just me being lazy, Pam. That's all there is to it. Two. And usually when I'm doing this, I'm just sitting here listening to a video or watching a crime drama. That seems to be my thing. That's just not going to do. Yeah, I could alleviate a lot of my struggle if I broke out the beading needles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you wanted to make a multicolored petal, go for it. I just thought the gold might be easy to see, but I don't think it is. Oh, come on now. I might have to just switch and do whatever beads I can get on here. That should be 5. Yep. I don't know if you guys want to sit here and watch me. Struggle to find 7 beads that are the same. But I figured, why not come on and show you what I'm doing, just in case you haven't started your beading like me and are waiting till the last minute. I was watching Kathy, and I'm not sure who she was on with. It didn't sound like Colleen. All right, so I got my little loopity-doo. All right. See if I can come up inside the loop toward the top. And I'll go back down through on the outside of the loop. So basically I'm stitching over the thread that I just beaded onto. So there's 2. And feel free to make up your own flowers too. I mean, you can make up some creepy looking flowers with beads. Just give them so many beads this way, and then maybe give it a spout of something else. It's all about having fun with your beading. Another thing that I have done besides doing these little flowers, on these little squares, I'll start in the middle and do groups of 3. Let me see if I can find something to show you guys. Let's see here. Don't think it's out here. Give me just a sec. No, it's not that one. Well, I can show you on my little bag that I've already done, my little zip bag, because I know where it is. And you can use other beads besides seed beads. But yeah, I can show you on here. See how I put a piece of lace down? And then I did like little groups. I got a huge bead in there. So whatever I had, I threw on here. But it looks like I did groups of 5 beads in multicolors. And I just started in the middle and did it like this. And it went out a little bit farther each time until it made a complete square that filled this up. There's some little flowers that I did with seed beads with just a single bead for each petal, and then put a yellow one in the middle. What else is on here? Oh, I can't remember what these are called, but they make fast flowers. And if you find cottony lace, it adds an interesting bit. I just sewed all kinds of fabric on here. And now, like I said, when I cut this out, I didn't care if I cut through things because it adds this interest coming out of your seams when you sew it up, like here. I couldn't have tried for that if I tried. And I did use I had some fabric glitter paint that I did those with. And on this one, I just had metallic paint, but I'll do like the glitter paint better to do the little lines and dots and things. So these little bags are fun to do. It's fun to do the fabric. Yeah, bugle beads, I think. Yep. I have fun doing the fabrics with you guys where we do a prompt game and then turn it into something like that. So yeah, and then I made these little, I used the things that the scouts use to make their little lariat things, but then I attached just a little beaded charm I put together with a cat on it. And that's my pull. And this bag is fully lined, see? And this one was lined in such a way, it's got the zipper and we sewed the top. The bag where this one, I want to leave my raw edge. This is the salvage from the denim. So I'm going to show you a different technique than leaving a hole in your lining and turning it tomorrow. So I'll show you that tomorrow. And I still need to hunt through my fabric stash like I don't have something immediately at hand for my lining. And I find when it comes to lining bags, if you use dark fabric, it's hard to see what's in the bag. So I always lean toward a lighter fabric. This one I didn't, and I wish I had, because see, when you open it, it's pretty dark in there. If I had used a lighter colored fabric, I could see down in there. So I'm thinking I'll look through my quilter's fabric under my bed and get some light blue for the inside of this bag. So I'm just going to keep working on this flower. Oh, please slide on. The naughty beads are getting put in the tray. The ones that won't fit. When this thread runs out, I'll dig out a beading needle to save us some time. But I didn't have anything else to do. So that's why you guys are having to suffer with my presence right now. Oh. And remember, I have 2 sides to this bag, so I need to decorate both sides. But I'm not going to make y'all suffer watching me do it on here. I was watching this show yesterday on Nicolas Cage. He's my age, and I never knew he is Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. Did y'all know that? Because his original last name was Coppola. I had no idea. I must live under a rock. It was a very interesting story about his life. Oh, please, both of you go. One did. Six, seven. I finished this week's square, and I might go ahead and work on some more squares, and then just do the videos and have them scheduled for the next coming few Fridays, because I have things I'm going to do with my sister. She wants me to come to her house and play in clay, and then she's going to come to my house and we're going to sew together. So if I do some of my videos ahead, I think that would be a good idea. I see she's had videos going up, but I can guarantee she did a bunch of them and then scheduled them out, because she's smart like that. I don't think to do things ahead. I'm not real good at it. That's where I failed as a store manager. I was always told I didn't plan out far enough ahead. It comes from being a whole live in the moment kind of girl. Let's make sure I'm not boogered on the back. So far, so good. This is going to be one weird flower. I don't think I'll do another one like this. But I will finish this one since it started. Oh, it'd be nice if you'd both go. Yes. And I watched this series. It's an older series that just popped up on Netflix called The Mire. It's kind of creepy, and the acting's not tremendously wonderful, but it was intriguing enough to keep me watching it. But before I knew it, the first season was done and there's no more available. And I'm like, this was done in the 90s. What do you mean there's no more available? I think it's from Poland. But you know how they dub over with the English. So sometimes it's clear they're saying something different than what is being said. You know what I mean? It's like their mouths are just a little bit off. So it looks kind of funny. Okay, I've got 7. I'm going to go back down in the fabric. See if I can keep control of the loopies. And I'll pull that loop back. Come up in the middle of the loop and then go back down on the outside of the loop. Scott's back. One more petal. I'm hoping I have enough thread to finish this flower. You Googling that one? It's a little creepy, but is she going to have to buy a tire?
She wasn't there.
Oh, she got tired of waiting on you.
Went 100 down.
Was she at car care?
Yeah. I didn't stop.
Oh.
She would have had to introduce me to everybody there if I stopped.
Well, this is true.
This is my son.
This is my son. This is Scott. Him and his wife help me. So I'm almost done with this flower, and Scott's back.
Hi.
Hi, he says. Hi. Hi, diddly do. What you got there? Oh, American Science and Surplus.
Yeah.
What was that one we used to get? Funny Side?
Funny sign up. I used to love my Lindsay books.
Oh, the Lindsay publications. That was a good book.
He retired.
Yeah, I know. The thrift, they're getting ready to close that down, I thought.
I think so. One of them they closed down.
They're trying to sell through all those books they bought out, I think, and then be done with it.
Oh.
But they're more of a technical book, aren't they?
No. Some other company bought out Lindsay's inventory. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh. That actually went quick because I was being bad and just focusing on picking up beads. All right, I'm going to go inside the loop. I'm going to have to get a fresh needle for the center of this one. But you can see how the little flower is right here. That gold is just... And now I'm going to put some little dots in the middle. Bye, Shannon. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, look, I got another loopy. It's always right at the end. I get a loopy. Can I pull it up? Let's see. Oh, I can. Woohoo! Got rid of that loopy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot. Maybe she called David and David told her, just take it to car care, Mother. He might.
Well, that's where she got the other two replacements.
Yeah.
So she stand a chance of having actually 4 that matched.
Yeah. Ow, that pin got me. Oh, Kathy had to go too. 10 o'clock here. Gotta run. I'll watch. Okay. All right. So there's another little flower. I'm going to struggle with this needle. I should pull out a beading needle, but I'll struggle with this one for a little bit longer.
Might make me a book vase.
Make you a what?
Book vase. Since I occasionally might repair a damaged book.
Yeah. My eyeballs would focus on the hole. There we go. I'm really leaning toward, I want to add some beading to the hearts on here, but I might do the whole bead around the edge there. Just of the red heart, not out in this part since I'm so close to my seam area. And I think I'm going to put 3 or so beads in a dark blue like this in the center of this gold flower. So we'll put this one on. See if I can keep control of the loopies. There's one. Whoops. Sorry, didn't mean to punch y'all in the face. Sorry. Come back up a little, over a little ways. Find another nice dark blue one. Oh, actually, I think that one's green. It's all right. We're just going to put 3 beads in the middle and call it good. One more. I swear they look blue in here, but then when I get them, tip them up into the light, they're green. That looks blue. And that fills up my opening pretty good. And no loopies. There we go. So there's my little flower. So I need to make some more little flowers there and more sequins here and there on these 2 panels. And that's my plan for today. Yep, I'm live. Been live for a while. I think I only shared it in my group because I wanted to get on here. All right. All right, so let's see. I showed how to sew sequins on. And I showed 2 different kinds of flowers, but feel free to use your beads any way you want to create a flower. So let's see if I can do this here. Here's how you sew the sequins on. Did a couple of those. And then we did a little quick 5 petal, 3 beads for each petal, and then put a gold bead in the center. I really like how that one turned out. So I'll put 2 more of those in this little square. Now you do not have to put your flowers just in the little squares. There's this one, and I will do a couple more just like this. So there's 3 together. And I put pins in to mark the top 3 inches because you don't want to put any beads up here or on your bottom. Don't put any beads in this little rectangle area down here because that's just going to sit on that's the bottom of the bag. So yeah, so I'm going to keep going today. After Scott leaves for work, I'll be beading away on this. So tomorrow I'll have both sides. Here's my other side of my bag. And I might do some little hearts and things like that. Maybe just do some more stitching and do where my hearts are. I might just embroider some little red hearts to make like the big heart with 2 small hearts near it and just embroider them on. I might have to draw those. And I did flowers like this, lazy daisy stitches. So keep adding stitches and beading until you get it the way you want it to look. On the ones where I did these spirals, I could mimic the spirals with beads and just do beads in between. So there's another spiral on top of a spiral. You can, like where this lace is, you could do stitching like this, but with groups of 3 beads. So come up, put 3 beads on, go back down. After you push your beads, you have to push the beads down because if you put the thread back down through the fabric, too far toward where you came up, the beads will mound. They won't lay flat. So you need to push those beads flat so you know where the very end of that group of 3 is, and then go down and then come up a little ways away. And so it's just like this, but you're doing groups of beads. And you could do them to go off the edge, come off the edge this way. There's so many ways to add beads and things. Yeah, I didn't mean for it to come out so patriotic looking, but hey ho, that's what it is. So I hope this has given you some ideas, and this is what my plan is for the rest of the days. Sit and stitch and watch my birds out the bird feeder and listen to videos and that kind of stuff. So I hope this has been beneficial, and I will see you guys tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Bye, guys.